In this video, we're going to talk about this lesson called conscious coding and how you can facilitate this lesson for students probably as young as second grade with a few modifications up to adults. So, this is just to get people excited about the Hour of Code, which is in a couple of weeks now in December, but really this can be taught at any time. So the first thing you want to do is make a copy of these slides and modify them for the age of your students and for the lesson, any modifications that you want to make. Conscious coding starts with really inviting students to have some conversations around technology. We have artificial intelligence, we have machine learning, and how those can really lead to deep learning. And the first prompt is to have this discussion around what technology has been used in the past 24 hours. So invite students to generate this conversation. You can make this live and in classroom or just online. You can add a Padlet or use Parlay for an online discussion or a Google document or a good old turn and tack and elbow partners. And hopefully students will really enjoy reflecting on all the kinds of technology that they use every single day without really realizing that there's so much technology in our lives. And the point of that is that, it's in every career field. So as they are thinking about their lives beyond being a student, we don't know the job that we're preparing them for. But currently, there's some examples here on the slide of some jobs they can reflect on that are really utilizing technology in a lot of different ways, but pretty much every career has technology in it. So, with that, we want to also define for students what artificial intelligence is, what machine learning actually is. In fact, I'm going to reorder that a little bit. You should have that discussion and then bring that in. And then I'd like to invite you, if you feel comfortable and prepared and trained to have this kind of a conversation in your class, to discuss this movie trailer called Coded Bias. I don't have the entire movie linked. It's just the trailer, and the trailer addresses how artificial intelligence has had some bias in it, that the people designing the technology have not responsibly really reflected on our communities, and so the AI that they use to design the machinery is really biased. And so, depending on the students in your class, the age of the students in your class, I encourage you to just have some conversations around the impact of that and get students to reflect on how does that relate to them. Well, it relates to them because they are not only ethical users of technology, we're always talking about digital citizenship, but they are also ethical creators, that they are really being mindful when they go out to create, to integrate diverse perspectives. And then so just teach them that lesson around that. And that's where it comes to that conscious coding. And then we're going to move into how to do a coding activity. So, with that, we have this one tool called Machine Learning for Kids and Scratch. It's kind of an integration of these two tools in order to do this conscious coding. And the first thing you're going to do is share this link with students called Machine Learning for Kids. And what I like about this lesson is you don't need to register for any websites. You don't need to do anything other than use the free version of it. So try without registering, try it out, click on that, and create a new project. Students can come up with their own project name. This will eventually be synced into Scratch. I called my project name Dream House because what we're going to be doing is recognizing different text for turning on and off lights in my dream house and turning on and off a fan in my dream house. So all of these steps are screenshot and in the slides here. So as you go through the slides, you can see that this is where we're at right now. The first step is to train the AI, the machine learning, to understand turning the light on and off and the fan on and off. Then we're going to learn and test it, and then we're going to make it. So let's start with train. Students will create a new label, and everybody's going to make four labels. light on, light off, fan on, fan off. Once you create those labels, you're going to have to come up with 6 different ways to say the same thing for each of those labels. What I mean by that is you can talk to students about how when they tell Siri or Alexa or Google Home to turn a light on, there's other ways of saying that, like it's dark in here. And that would also trigger um, maybe to turn a light on. And that's what the AI is thinking about. How else can we say that? Turn the light on. And so they are going to just kind of consider how what AI is doing is thinking of these other scenarios on. How about illuminate? So yeah, the point is that they have to come up with at least 6 different words or terms that are saying almost the same thing. And then they're going to do that for all 4 of these. The next step is once you have all 6 indicators for those 4 categories, is to click here on back to the project. And we're going to learn and test that. And so this is where the computer really does this for us, but it says, like, what have you done? You have collected examples of text for a computer to use to recognize when text is light on, light off. So when people say any of those things, when the computer, when any of those phrases are typed in, it will turn the light on or off for you. So this might happen when you go to test it. So just answer the question, which of the following best describes unsupervised learning? Writing a program that contains lots of if else statements to determine the result, a machine learning algorithm. Oh, well, it's all ready to go. Now, this is something that I've noticed in this program. It'll just kick into it right away. So let's try one of the words that I used. I used the word breeze in one of them. Let's test it. Yep. 67% confidence that with that phrase being added on, it would do that. So we've tested it. It's fine. We're going to go back to the project now. And we're going to use the machine learning model that we just trained to now make a game or an app in Scratch. You can also use those other tools, but Scratch is free and you don't need to sign in when you do it this way. You're going to click on Scratch 3 and then go ahead and open up your machine learning model within that tool. And what it's doing is importing the machine learning, what you just taught the machine here. And we're going to go to project templates and we're going to do the smart classroom easy. And you'll notice here it says Dream House at the bottom, and that was the title of my project. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the code now that uses my machine learning that will turn this fan and light on and off. So first question says, if answer equals turn the fan on. So we're going to grab this first code block. If the answer is text, we need to have answer there. So I'm going to go here and grab answer. And then I'm going to go back to my dream house and I'm going to say fan on. And that's the first code block. Then we're going to do that again for turn the fan off. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to do it a third time. Now it's turn the lamp on, so light on. And I am just going to skip ahead before I go to the other space and light off. But I still need to add those code blocks for answer that are here. So you can just show students how to go through this process. Okay, so kind of fun. Now, where I'm at is it's time for me to test this, right? So I can click on the green flag when I'm ready to test it, and I can type any of those words. Oh, breeze, there it goes. The fan went on. Um, uh, light on. There we go. Light off. Um, and off. And kids can kind of see that when they do the exact words, it works, but also they could go back to what they put in the project here, which is the training piece, and any of those should work, such as it's warm in here. Let's see if that works. There you go, and it still works. So the students now have used machine learning to train it how to turn both those on and off. I hope you enjoy this lesson. Now, I also, at the end on the slides, I just included the credits because big shout out to Heidi Baines, who taught me how to do this at the site conference in Sacramento in the fall of 2021. And I had a great time in her session. So thank you so much, Heidi. And hope every I hope more people do this lesson. Take care.